Good evening, everyone. So today we'll start with revision session, which is Unit 3 dependence. So, before understanding this Unit 3, let me show you one form, which is Form 1040. So, in the Form 1040, here we have one information which is dependence. So if you are considering a person as a dependent, so here in the form 1040, when we are preparing 1040, the first thing is very important thing is filing status. Like we must select the filing status, which is very important. After that, dependents. So you have to enter your dependent details if any. So when we can enter someone in the dependent list, so for that we have couple of rules we have. So first thing, two rules we have. So one is general rule, and once you are done, once the dependent satisfied with the general rule, then we can classify the dependent into two. One is qualifying children and another one qualifying relative. So to classify, before that we have to apply general test, so which is regular test. So to consider a person as a dependent or not, we have to see general test. So in the general test, we have four types of general test we have. The first test, dependent cannot claim their own dependence. So it is very important. Dependent cannot claim their own dependence. Let's say, let's say we have Mr. X and Mr. Y. So X taxpayer and Y co-taxpayer, taxpayer and co-taxpayer, and they're having a Z. Z actually a dependent. and and this Z is preparing another income tax return. Like they are filing Form 1040, and when they are filing then Form 1040, they have included Mr. Z as a dependent. And also Z is also having some income. Z is also preparing his own tax return Form 1040, and Z have provided some benefit, some financial support to Mr. A. So now Jed can claim Mr. A as a dependent. No. So he is actually dependent on someone tax return, but he cannot claim another person as a dependent on his tax return, which is very important. So first point, dependent cannot claim their own dependence. So if the taxpayer is a dependent, he cannot claim any dependent again because he is actually a dependent. So why he can claim another person as a dependent? Like let's say we are preparing Mr. X and Mr. Y. So the taxpayer and co-taxpayer, and we have dependent Mr. Z. And now we are preparing another tax return, so which is for Z. Z also having some income and Z also having some withholds. Now here Z is a dependent. So when he is a dependent, we have to select this option. You as a dependent. So for Z, we will select this. So if you select this, you cannot claim another person as a dependent. Now, Z is providing some benefit to Mr. A. Actually, A is dependent on Z. Can we file like this? No, you cannot do that because Z himself is a dependent, so he cannot claim another person as a dependent. This is clear, guys. Guys, any confusion or any questions in this first point? Guys, can you hear me?
No,
No, clear, right? Okay.
no.
So first one, dependent cannot claim their own dependence. And second point, so these are very general test we're gonna check. If to consider a person as a dependent, the first one, dependent cannot claim their own dependence. And second one, the dependent must be US citizen or resident or US national, then only we will consider. So let's say Z in the above one, Z is a non-resident. We know who is a resident and who is non-resident, right? So Z is a non-resident. So can we consider Z as a dependent? Answer no. So he should be US citizen or he should be US resident or US nation, then we can consider the person as a dependent. Or so USA, there are two adjacent countries. One is Canada and another one Mexico. Even if the person is a resident of Canada or Mexico, also we will consider as a resident. So this is additional point, but you no need to worry on this point. So they may not test on this area, but yeah. So second point, the dependent must be US citizen or resident or nation, and this is second condition. So these are general test to consider a person as a dependent, and also dependent cannot file MFJ return unless only for refund. Like in the above example, we have seen uh, Z, right? So Z would like to file here. Okay. So we understood. So X taxpayer, Y co-taxpayer, and Z actually he's a dependent. Now Z can file joint return with someone. So Z married to Mr. Uh, Z married to Mr. B. So can dependent file joint tax return? No, they cannot file joint tax return unless if Z is in refund situation. So Z actually will get refund. Like now, Z will get $1,200 refund. In this case, it is allowed. Or another case, Z is supposed to pay tax liability of 3,000. Is that allowed? No, he will not be a dependent again. So just to claim refund, then he can file joint tax return, because you can see here we have marked this you as a dependent. So if you as a dependent, then you cannot file joint return unless it is a refund situation. This is clear, guys. So third important. Okay, this is third point. Yeah. So dependent cannot file MFJ unless for refund. This is clear, guys. Any questions in this? Yes.
No.
No, right. So how many tests we have seen? General test to consider a person as dependent. The first one, dependent cannot claim their own, dependents. And second one, dependent must be US citizen or resident or nation, or Canada, Mexico residents also fine. And dependent cannot file MFJ return unless for refund. Yes. So if it is only for refund, then we can file. So if it is only for refund, like let's say Z Z Z and A, they are filing. So Z actually dependent, okay? Z actually dependent, and he is filing tax return with A, MFJ, MFJ. So this is only for refund. So can we consider only for refund they are filing joint tax return? So can we consider Z as a dependent? Yes. Only for refund? Yes.
Yes.
So Z is not only for refund. So he's actually paying tax liability due. So can we consider as a dependent? No. So only for refund? Yes, dependent. If it is not for refund, then he is no more dependent because he is paying taxes. So if the person is paying taxes, then he is not a dependent. So that is what actually the reason behind to consider why we are giving only for refund. So because of that reason. And fourth important point, person must not be supporting themselves. Like here we have another condition, person must not be supporting themselves. So to consider a person as a dependent, what exactly the primary important thing? So which is financial. So dependent means he is relying on someone, right? So dependent means he is actually relying on someone. So here, like let's say we have X and Y and Z. So G actually dependent on X and Y. So how we can say, because they are X and Y are paying money to Z. So that's the reason we are considering as dependent. But in our case, Z earning income, Z himself providing 60% support, and balance he is getting from parents X and Y. So Z himself providing 60% and balance he is getting support from X and Y from the parents. So can we say Z as a dependent? No, because he himself providing more than 50% of the support, then he is no more dependent. So to consider as a dependent, the tax dependent himself should not provide more than 50% of his own support. Then we will consider the person as a dependent. This is clear? Guys, any questions? Guys, 4 general tests. So can anyone just quickly tell me what are the 4 general tests? What are 4 general tests, guys? So to consider a person as a dependent, what are the 4 important general tests we're going to check?
Dependent cannot claim dependent cannot claim other dependent.
Okay.
The dependent should be a U.S. national, resident, or
Okay.
resident of Mexico or Canada.
Okay.
If dependent has filed joint return only for a purpose of getting refund,
Okay.
person must not be supporting themselves.
Perfect. So now, okay, we understood when we will consider a person as a dependent. Okay, that is fine. Now, dependents we can classify into two. One is qualifying children, and another one qualifying relative. This we call it as QC, and we have qualifying relative, which is QR. So QC and QR. So definitely you can expect at least 2 to 3 questions from this unit. Very easy, very simple. So make sure to see very like we have tricky parts. I will tell you the tricky parts. So what type of questions we can see. So first one, to consider a person as a qualifying children, what are the tests we have? We'll see one by one. So first one, relationship test. So first one, relationship test. So relationship test. So who can be qualifying children? So usually, so children means daughter, son, stepchildren, adopted children, foster children. So regular children. So only those? No. So children means son, daughter, etc. So son, daughter, and stepchildren, adopted children, foster children. So those are regular children. Apart from that, brother, sister, or stepbrother, or half siblings also qualifying children. Half siblings also qualifying children. Only those? No. So son, daughter, stepchildren, adopted children, foster children, brother, sister, stepchildren, half siblings. So all those are qualifying children only. And also descendant of any of these. So descendant means so son. So descendant, yes. So daughter, son, or daughter. So those are, I mean, I can say lineal descendant, which means so below generation people also children's only. So descendant of any of the above, any above also we can consider as qualifying children. So first test, so to consider a person as a relative, so qualifying children, we have to see son, daughter, brother, sister, half stepchildren, sorry, stepbrother, half siblings, descendant of any of the above will comes under relation qualifying children only. And then we have another test which is age test. So age should be under 19, which means so under 19 means exactly 19. So can we say, you know, qualifying children? No, it should be less than 18 or 18 also fine, but it should be under 19. Then only we will consider a person as qualifying children. And also some cases, student, full-time student also, age we will 24 years age limit we have. 24 years for full-time student. And also permanent disability cases, permanently disabled cases, no age limit. Okay, so first one relationship test and second one age test. So the children age should be under 19, or full-time student 24 years, or permanently disabled cases no age test. So that too, another important point, dependent should be younger than taxpayer, because let's say brother we have, right? So brother usually maybe elder or younger. So to consider a person as a qualifying children, the dependent should be younger than the taxpayer. So this is very important. And the dependent should be younger than the taxpayer, right? So your brother more than your brother elder. So can we consider as dependent children? No. So dependent should be younger than taxpayer. Then only we will consider under qualifying children. So other test, other qualifying relative, that is fine. But to consider as a qualifying children, so this is the important key. And third important test, which is residency test, which is residency test, which is very important because it had some exceptions. So if it is general rule, so no need to worry. If there is any exceptions, make sure to remember the exception. So here 24 years permanent disability cases you must remember because it had some exception, right? So regular age limit 19 and residency test. What is residency test? The children should live with the taxpayer more than half a year, more than half a year. The dependent should be reside with the taxpayer should be more than half a year. Then only we will consider a person as a dependent. So and also we have some temporary options. Temporary absence. Some cases he may not be with the taxpayer, which is because of the temporary absence. So temporary absence period also we will include in the half of the year. So what are the temporary absences? So if it is for school or any medical care purpose or military or any juvenile facility, juvenile which is in case of taxpayer or spouse, any parents are in the jail, so this person will be placed in the juvenile facility. So that period also we will include in the residency test. Okay, and also vacations, summer camps or any school vacations, so everything will comes under residency test only. So temporary absence because of school or hostel, medical care, military, so these are the temporary absence, which is very important. This is clear. And fourth important test, which is support test. Support test, the children cannot provide more than 50% of his own support. So here is the key. So children cannot provide more than 50% of their own support. That means anyone can give, but only children himself should not give. So that means like we have Mr. X, Y, Mr. X, Y, and M, L, K. So and we have Z, Mr. who is a children of X and Y. Now to for Z support test purpose, like let's say Z total expenses are $1,000, out of which Z had earned income of $400. So rest 600 he required, right? The rest 600 X had given $100 and Y $100 and M 100, L 100, K $200 they have given. So total we have $1,000. Now Z had provided only 400 and parents have provided only 10%. So this is allowed, but dependent himself should not provide more than 50% of his own support, but anyone can give, but he himself should not provide more than 50% of his own support. Here is the important point. This is clear. Support test. So children cannot provide more than 50% of their own support, but anyone can give. No need to give only parents. So his relatives or friends or anyone can give, but he himself should not provide more than 50% of his own expenses, own support. Then only we will consider if the person as qualifying children. This is clear?
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Just go ahead.
Qualifying children condition, if niece or nephew under the age of 19 can comes under qualifying children.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Niece or nephew under 19 can consider them as qualifying children or qualifying relative.
So do we have this in the list, relationship test?
No.
So can we consider qualifying children?
No, but we need to check all condition or
So yeah, we must check all the conditions. So qualify relationship test,
okay.
age test, residency test, and support test. So once the dependent, once the person meeting with all the condition, then only we will classify under qualifying children or qualifying relative. Okay. Next important next tie break rules we have. Tie break means tie break cases, if two persons eligible for the same criteria, so who can get the edge? So let's say we have X and Y. So we have Mr. Z, and also X and Y, we have X father Mr. M. Okay, X father Mr. M. Now M can consider Z as a dependent. Yes, because lineal descendant also allowed, right? We have seen lineal descendant of any of the above. So M can claim Z as a dependent. So M is father of Mr. X and X father of Z. Father of Z. Now, when when X is preparing his tax return, X would like to claim Z as a dependent, and also M also eligible to claim Z as a dependent because he is a descendant of son, right? So son's son here. So can we consider? Yes, obviously we can consider. So M also eligible and X also eligible to consider Z as a dependent. Now who can claim? Who will get edge? So in that case, we have tie break rules, which is tie break rules, breaker rules. Tiebreaker rules. The first one under tiebreaker rule, which is parents over non-parents. Parents over non-parent. If one person can be eligible for to claim as dependent more than one, so here M also eligible and X also eligible to claim Z as a dependent. Now who can get the edge? So parents can get the edge. So X can claim Z as a dependent. This is clear. So parents over non-parents. So in case this Z is eligible for both M and X cases, we will see parents over parent rule, which is tiebreaker rule. This is clear. Guys, clear it. If both parents, like let's say X and Y, they are filing separately. X and Y both are parents only, so they would like to file tax return separately. Now who can get the edge? X can get or Y can get the edge. So for that we have to see the tiebreaker rule. So parents if both parents would like to claim Z as a dependent, now we have to see who children who lived longer with the person. So now Z lived with Mr. X for 180 days and with Y 185 days. So who will get the edge? X or Y? Both are parents only. So first one, we will check parents over non-parents. So parents will get the edge to consider as a dependent. So if both are parents, then we need to see who lived with the dependent longer period. So who lived? So Z lived with Mr. X over 180 days. So here 185 days. So who can claim as a dependent?
Y can claim.
Y can claim as a dependent because longer period, right? So Y can claim. Let's say if it is equal time, then we have to see whose income is high. Let's say here also 180 days and here also 180 days. Now we have to see whose AGI is more, whose income is more. Now X income $100,000 and Y income $150,000. Then who can claim? X can claim or Y can claim, guys?
Why?
If time is equal, then we have to check higher AGI. Now I have a question. If why income also $100,000? Then who can claim?
Then
This
can we
type of
check
oh,
like
this type
yeah.
of question we cannot expect in the exam, but this is out of box. So now someone should take decision. So both should agree and both should take one final call. So in that way, if let's say X also filed, X also claimed Z as a dependent, and Phi also claimed Z as a dependent, IRS will reject the tax return. So they cannot file actually. So again, they can do paper filing. Like why? This is extreme cases. So X filed, E filed, and Y filed paper file. Because if Y is filing, so it will show an error. So dependent already claimed by X, so it will show an error. So in that case, IRS, so it will go to kind of issue, right? So in that case, someone should remove the dependent in the tax return. So that is extreme cases we will check. So yeah, this is the key. So if parents over non-parents, so we have to check in case if it is relationship, then we have to check parents over non-parents. If both are parents, then we need to check who lived longer, and if time is equal, then we have to check AGI. So very extreme cases we will check. So AGI. So even though AGI is higher, then only one person can claim as a dependent. So both persons should not claim the dependent, in their tax return. This is clear. Guys, any questions in this? So what are the four important tests we have for qualifying children? So relationship test. Okay. So child must be son, daughter, or stepchildren, adopted children, or foster children, or brother or sister or stepbrother, half sibling, descendant of any of the above, are relationship test. And age test, under 19 or under 24 if it is full time. So full time means in a year, 5 months they need to go to the college. Then only we will consider the person as a full time student. And any years, if permanent disability, any years. And this important key, this dependent should be younger than the taxpayer. So because brother or stepbrother or sister, half sibling cases, they may be more than the taxpayer is. So that is not allowed to consider a person as a qualifying children. And also residency test. So children must live with the taxpayer for more than half a year. So temporary absence period also we make sure to remember: school, hostel, medical care, military, juvenile facility, vacation, everything will comes under temporary absence. So temporary absence period also we will include in the half of the year, because we have to check the half of the year, right? So that is important point we have seen. Support test: children cannot provide more than his 50% of their own support. And tiebreaker rule, we have seen parents over non-parents, and both parents. Then if both are parents, then who lived with longer period, then we will check. And even time equals, then higher age. These are the cases we have seen. So if you can remember these points, then you can easily answer to any of the question in the qualifying children, which is very repeatedly tested area, high important. Tiebreaker rule, make sure to check the tiebreaker rule. And for tests, okay, in the temporary absence is the very important point. And age, so we have 24 years age limit and permanent disability age limit. So those are also exceptional cases. So those are also very important. And next one, we'll
So one
understand.
question there.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So the age test, if child is exact 19 years, will the qualified age test or
Exactly 18, fine. So if it is 18 years, one day, no, you cannot claim.
no? Is it 18 or 19? That was the confusion.
Yeah, it is under 19 means 18 only.
Okay.
So
18 plus
usually,
1 day.
yeah, sorry,
18 plus 1 day will qualify.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
Exact 18 then.
Yeah, exactly. Less than or equal to 18, I can say. But make sure to remember in this way, because they used to give age like under 18, under 19, under 24. So yeah, so under 19, which means less than or equal to 18. If it is exactly 18, fine. 18.1 day also not allowed. On the date of, on the last day of the tax year, that is also usually practically we will see that, but exam purpose they may not test in depth way, but yeah. So on the last day of the tax year.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah. And also qualifying relative, we have seen qualifying children and qualifying relative. The first important test, which is the person should not be qualifying children. So because if the person is qualifying children, then why we will come with qualifying relative? So first we will check whether qualifying relative, whether taxpayer, whether the dependent meeting with qualifying children rule or not. If not, then go with the qualifying relative. So first important question, first important point, he should not be a qualifying children, because if he is qualifying children, then we no need to come here, right? So second point, here, because the person is not a children no more, so the person is not a children, that means he may be other than children, or children is over the specified limits, like children is more than 19. So can we consider as still children, qualifying children? No, we can go with qualifying relative now. Let's say taxpayer is, dependent is 20, so he's actually children. So can we consider the person as a qualifying children? No, because his age is more than 19, so he is no more children. Now we can go with qualifying relative. So only children? No, any other person also will comes under qualifying relatives only. So we will see relatives. So for now, the first important point, he should not be a qualifying children. And second one, gross income test. So this income limit will change year on year. So for 2024, the dependent income, which is gross income, should not be more than 5050. So this is for 2024. So it must be below exemption limit. So it must be below this to consider a person as a qualifying relative. So make sure to check his income. The income should be less than 5050, then only he is a qualifying relative. And next one, relationship or member of household test. Relationship test or member of household test, which is third test. So we have relative list. We have, so in this we have two types of relatives. So related in IRS approved list, or any other person. So IRS had given specified list, so you can consider the person as relative. So in that way we have specified list. So what are the specified list? Like let's say I can say direct relatives, like I can say father, mother, grandparents, son, daughter, grandchildren. So they are direct relatives. So IRS approved list, I can say direct relatives list, direct relatives. So direct relatives, which includes father, mother, grandparents, son, daughter. So they are direct relatives. So apart from that, we have in-laws. So in-laws also relatives. In-laws means, so father-in-law, mother-in-law, and son-in-law, daughter-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. So everyone will comes under IRS approved list. So only those? No, we have other relatives as well. So father-in-law, mother-in-law. So these persons, so direct relatives and in-laws, and also other relatives. So other relatives, so I can say, I think someone told Nisi, right? So uncles, aunt, and nephew, niece, or stepfather, or stepmother, or any adapt, everyone. So other than this, so will come under this list, or any foster children. So these persons will comes under other relatives. Now some other cases, cousins. So did we include cousins in the list? No. So cousins are not direct relatives. So even though they are relatives, but cousins are not direct relatives. So for them, we will include. So we have two relationship. We have two. One is related in IRS approved list. So these are the persons. Another one, other than or any other person other than the above list. So in this we can include boyfriend, girlfriend, anyone. Or cousins, or any person other than the above list. So other than direct relatives, in-laws, or other relatives. So if you have any person other than these, will come under any other person list. So that means relationship or member of household we can classify into two. One is related in approved IRS list, or other than these approved list. So two list we have, right? So this is clear, guys. Guys, clear or any questions in this? Because this is very important. Relationship or member of household. So we have two. One is related in IRS approved list, or other than these persons. This is clear or not? Relationship or member of household we can classify into two. One is IRS approved list. Any other. This is clear, guys. Any questions in this? Guys, say yes or no, please.
No.
No. You want me to repeat again, right?
No doubts.
No doubt, right? Okay. So if the person listed under IRS approved list, then they no need to reside with the taxpayer. But if the person listed any other category, they need to reside with the taxpayer. So they need to reside with the taxpayer all the year, which is very, very, very important. If the person listed under IRS approved list, no need to reside with the taxpayer. No need to reside with the taxpayer. This is important key, right? So the relationship we have to we can classify into two. One is IRS approved list, and another one any other category. IRS approved list, no need to reside with the taxpayer. But if the person not listed under IRS approved category, they need to reside with the taxpayer for all the year. Then only we will consider the person as a relative. So we will see a couple of examples. But for now, just remember this point. And also support test. So here for the above one and qualifying children and qualifying relatives, so this is another difference. So taxpayer should provide more than 50% of total support. In the previous one, child himself should not provide. But here, to consider a person as a qualifying relative, taxpayer must provide over 50% of the total support. Then only we will consider the person as a relative. This is done. This is clear. If yes, then we will go with another special areas which are important areas. Yes or no? So let's summarize everything and then we will go with qualifying children and qualifying relative. So quickly tell me, what are the qualifying children test?
Relationship test.
Okay, relationship test.
Age test.
Age
Age
test.
test.
Residency test.
Okay.
Support test.
Support test.
Okay.
Tiebreaker rule.
Tiebreaker test.
Okay. Okay. So now relationship. Who can be qualifying children? Quickly.
Children. Adopted children.
Okay.
Foster children.
Okay.
Sibling.
Okay.
Step sibling. Half
Okay.
sibling.
Okay. Brother, sister, descendant of any of the above, right? Age. So age should be
Under
Under
19.
90.
or
24.
24
if
if
it is
full-time student.
full-time student. So who can be a full-time student?
At least go to college 5 months or 12 months.
Yes, 5 months in a year. Yes. And also permanent disability, no age test. And also qualifying children, he should be younger than the taxpayer, right?
Yes.
Yes. And okay, so residency test. Quickly tell me, what are the exceptions in this? So how many months he need to reside with the taxpayer?
6 months.
6 months.
Okay. And
Temporary absence can be considered.
yes.
Any vacation or juvenile.
Uh, temporary absence, yeah. Vacation, school, hostels, juvenile, any juvenile facility. Yeah. So these are the temporary absence also fine. Support test.
Child should not support more than 50%.
Exactly. The wording is important. Child himself should not provide more than 50% of his own support, but anyone can give. So this is very, very, very important. So the basic difference between qualifying children and qualifying relative is support test. The children himself should not provide, but anyone can provide. So tiebreaker rule, parents versus non-parents. So parents will get the edge. So if both are parents, then we will check the number of days. If number of days also equal, then we will check the income, AGI. So if AGI also same, then we will give the option to the taxpayer and spouse. So let them decide. If still they are unable to decide, then IRS will decide. Okay, because these are combinations, right? So many of the cases they will end up with this AGI or at least number of days for sure. So that is IRS competence. So that's the reason they haven't made any other extra rules. But yeah, even if still there is a problem, then let taxpayer and spouse decide. So if still they are not, uh, unable to classify, then let IRS decides. So qualifying relative, yeah. So here relationship first. What is the first important test we have seen in this?
Not a qualifying children.
Not a qualifying. So that means here we have children, right? So the children, let's say children, he's actually children, but he's age 25. So can we go with qualifying relative? Yes, we can go with qualifying relative. So if the person is not satisfying with qualifying children, then immediately we can go with qualifying relative. We can check in there and we can consider the person as qualifying relative actually, if he is meeting qualifying relative test rules. So first one, he should not be a qualifying relative, and then gross income rule. So how much gross income, guys?
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. So his income should be, if it is equal to 50-50, 50-50, then no. So it should be less than 50-50. And also relationship, this is important. Relationship rule, we have seen two types of rules. One is listed IRS approved list, others. So who need to reside with the taxpayer for all the year?
Other.
Other relative.
So do the approved list persons need to reside with the taxpayer?
No.
IRS,
No.
they no need to reside with the taxpayer. So this other person should reside with the taxpayer for all the year, 365 days. So this is very, very, very important. 365 days. Children, how many days they need to reside? 6 months. Okay. And also another important rule we have seen, support tests. Yeah. So now tell me, what is the difference between qualifying children support test and qualifying relative support test? So here support test. So who should provide 50% of the expenses?
Taxpayer.
So taxpayer must provide more than 50% of the expenses, or I can say support. But here in this, even though parents are not providing more than 50% of the support, that is fine. But here, support test for other relatives, taxpayer only must provide more than 50% of the support. Then only we will consider the person as a qualifying relative on the tax return. In the taxpayer dependency rule we can show. So this is important area. And next one, child of divorced or separated parent cases. So we generally have this, we can see this custodial important thing. So child of divorced or separated parents cases, so who generally can claim? So custodial parent, like let's say we have taxpayer X and another person Y. So they have applied for divorce and they had granted with divorce. They applied for divorce and they had granted with the divorce. Now X and Y having Mr. Z. So who can claim Z as a dependent? X can claim or Y can claim. So this Z reside with the taxpayer. So he's custodian parent. Custodial parent. So who can claim actually? So X can claim or Z also can claim. So we can call Mr. Y or Mrs. Y as non-custodial parent. So in case of divorce or separated parent cases, so we have two parties. One is custodial parent and then one non-custodial parent. So Z can be dependent on X written or Y written. Only one person can claim. But they have to sign one form. They have to release. So the custodial parent should release his, he need to file one form which is 8332. Anyone remember this form? Form 8332. We have seen in the unit 2, previous session only we have seen custodial parent. So this custodial parent should release the claim. So then Y can claim. So Y can claim Z as a dependent. So for that, what is the form to release claim to non-custodial parent? So they have to sign 8332. So X should sign on the form 8332. So with that, X can get this custodial option. So he can release this option by signing this 8332. Now, even if custodial parent releases the claim which is form 8332, but still the custodial parent may claim. So if X want to claim, then he can claim ATC credit or HOH. So HOH cases, he should have a dependent, right? So to consider a person as a dependent, he should have children or he should have dependent, right? So HOH, even though X had transferred Z to claim as a dependent on Y tax return, in the X tax return, we don't have dependent, but still we can claim HOH filing status because we have released this, dependent option in the taxpayer list, right? So, but still HOH cases, custodial parent can hold. So why can file HOH? No, because he is non-custodial parent. He just got the dependent by, from the X had released to claim, right? But yeah, he cannot claim. But that is the advantage in case of custodial, non-custodial parent. So he can claim child care credit. Now, what is the advantage? So he's got Y had, X had released this, custodial parent, right? 8332. So what is the advantage Y can claim? So Y can claim child tax credit. Child tax credit. So we will discuss this later. But for now, just understand. So the custodial parent need to release 8332 form to non-custodial parent. This is important area. And next one, multiple support agreement. So multiple support agreement. So what exactly the multiple support agreement? We also call it as MSA, multiple support agreement. So what is MSA, multiple support agreement? So this will come into picture in case of when no single taxpayer provides 50% support, then MSA will come into picture. So what is the possible area this MSA we can see? Qualifying children or qualifying relative cases? That's just
Qualifying children.
only in qualifying children. So can we see this option MSA in qualifying relative? No, because in that case, taxpayer should pay more than 50% of these expenses, dependent expenses. But qualifying children, the condition here is the dependent himself should not provide more than 50%. So anyone can provide, not only taxpayer, not only spouse, not only his relatives, even friends also can support. But he himself should not provide more than 50% of his own expenses. So that is actually the key in between, those areas. Guys getting? So in that case, we can see MSA, multiple support arrangement. So when no single taxpayer provide 50% of the support, then we can see. So in that case, who can, let's say we have X, Y, Z, L, M, N. So in that case, X is providing 10%, 20, and 30, and 3%, 7%, and also 22%. In that case, someone should release. So someone should compromise and someone should give the option to claim as a dependent. Like see here, Z is providing 30%. So he cannot claim. So X is providing 20. So he cannot claim. So X is providing 10%. So now in this case, multiple persons are providing, right? So in that case, only one person can claim dependent. So here, multiple persons providing, support. So in that case, what they can do, uh, they need to, they have to summon, let's say now in this 3%, 7%, so they cannot take any decision. So who can take decision? Anyone providing more than 10% are equal to 10%, then they can take a decisions. Now L, M, so they cannot take any decision. So they will not get any option. So now who is providing more than 10% are equal to 10%? So X, Y, and Z also providing more than, so he is also providing more than 10%. Now in this case, who can claim? X, Y, Z, or N? So in this case, we have to see. So if so in this case, they have to agree. So if everyone would like to claim dependent, but only one person is eligible to claim dependent, right? In that case, they have to sign in a written agreement. Like let's say X would like to claim, and in that case, Y, Z, and N should agree and should sign in an agreement. Then only X can claim, because no one is providing more than 50%. So in that case, we have to take the consent from others, so to claim as a dependent. So that is the key. So who can take decision? In that case, that person should provide more than 10% as support. That person only can take the decision. So first important point, when no single person provides more than 50% support, then we have to check who is providing more than 10%. So then we have to take the consent in a written agreement. Then only we can claim as the dependent. These points clear? Guys, say yes or no. Yes or no, please.
Yes, clear.
Yes, right. Okay. And next one, kiddie tax. So this is IRS love to test on this area, kiddie tax. So kiddie tax usually, when kiddie tax will come into picture. So first one, under, let's say we have Mr. X and Y. They we know the income tax rates, right? So we have two types of tax rates. One is ordinary tax rates, special tax rates. So any country income tax are progressive based tax. Income is increasing, tax also will increase. So ordinary tax rates are 10, 12, 22, 24, 32, 35, and 37. And special 0, 15, and 20. These are the tax rates are there in the USA. You know, right, these points, these tax rates. Now X and Y both are earning income. So they are incomes we usually can classify into two. One is earned income and another one unearned income. So what is earned income, guys? What is unearned income?
Wages and salary.
Wages.
Self-employment.
Self-employment.
Okay. And
Salary.
so everything which is hard earned money. So they have to participate to generate the income. We call it as earned income. So unearned income, which are capital gains, interest,
Any interest, dividend.
Dividend. So these are unearned income. Let's say taxpayer and spouse having incomes. So a couple of incomes I can say, I will list down. So wages and self-employment income, and also they have interest. So these are the incomes. Now wages we have $100,000 and self-employment income $50,000 and also interest we have $10,000. So these are the incomes. So taxpayer standing at 32% tax rate. Let's say I'm taking flat rate, but for example purpose I'm taking 32%. Now he interest, which is earned income or unearned income, right? So let's say X and Y would like to transfer the bonds in the name of Mr. Z, who is actually a dependent. So X and Y would like to transfer the bonds in the name of Z, and Z will get the interest. So in that case, what will happen? Z will stand at 10% of tax rates. So Z will pay 10%. So if they are including in the X and Y tax return, they were supposed to pay 32%, but we have transferred in the name of Z. So Z will pay how much tax rate, which is 10% tax rate. So is it reasonable? No, because this is unearned income. If it is earned income, then Z can pay 10%. That is fine. But this income they have intentionally had transferred in the name of Z, and Z stands at 10% tax slab, so Z will pay less taxes. In that case, IRS also come up with rule which is kiddie tax. So if any children under age 18 or under 24 full-time student, then whatever the unearned income the dependent is having, so that will be taxable at parents tax rates. So parents standing at 32%, right? So Z also should pay 32%. So he cannot escape from paying income tax. So Z should pay 32% tax rate, which is taxed at parents rate above the threshold. So we have threshold actually. So forget about those rules. So for now, kiddie tax means any income which is unearned income of a children under 18 or 24 full-time student taxed at parents' tax rates above threshold limit. This is clear. Kiddie tax means, so this is the definition. Guys, clear this point? Any confusion in this? So this is the definition for kiddie tax. This is clear, or any questions? Please say yes or no so that I can go with the next important areas.
Clear, sir.
Okay, right. Date of birth and date of death rules we know, right? So date of born or died during the year, we can count full year. Stillborn cases, so we have, so if taxpayer, if the dependent, born and died during the year also count, we will count. But some cases, stillborn cases, so can we consider as a dependent eligible?
No, we cannot.
Not eligible. Stillborn dependent, so we cannot consider as a dependent. So with this, we understood, when we will consider qualifying children and when we will consider qualifying relative. Let's move on to very exam, exam point of view. What type of questions we can see in the exam? We will cover those now. So we have around 50 questions. I will put the questions here quickly. So just answer to that question. First question for you, which is, first question. Just tell me option, which is A, B, C. Yeah, this is the question. Mark provides 60% of his mother for his mother, who lives in her home all the year. His mother has 3,800 gross income. Mark mother is a US citizen. Which statement is true, guys?
Qualifying relative.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, Jay.
Perfect.
Yes.
So second question. So answer C. And next one for you is, yeah. Now tell me the answer. Can we consider, like, what is the answer, guys?
Option D.
Option?
D.
Sure.
I guess
No,
option
option
A,
A. I think
qualifying
option
child.
A or B?
A.
A.
A, B, C.
Option A.
A.
Option A. Why?
Because
Old
his
brother. Make sure to see
but
each and
it's
every line. Each and every line is important.
but yeah, he is younger than 24, right?
Okay, that's fine. So dependent,
And he's
to
a
consider
full-time.
qualifying children, the dependent should be younger than taxpayer. So here, Julia support her 23 years old brother. So younger or older?
Older.
Or
So older can be considered as qualifying children. So to consider as qualifying children, so first thing, regular children. Our brother, sister, those brother or sister should be younger, not older. So he is no more qualifying children. So let's go with qualifying relative, right? So qualifying relative cases, who is a full-time student. So here is the important again. So who is a full-time student but lives in a college dorm for 9 months and Julia remaining 3 months. Okay, she provides the 70% of support. Her brother earned 6,200. Can Julia claim him? Okay. Now tell me the answer.
I think option B.
Option
Because
D.
he is earning more than 5050.
5050.
Okay. So you mean to say we cannot consider the person as a dependent, right?
Yes.
How many of you saying option D? Think and let me know the answer. Okay, so this I'm giving to you. You can do that. Let's go with third one. Third one. Which of the following is not IRS list we have, right? So you can think the second one. I will share you the Excel sheet. You can think and let me know. Which of the following is not IRS listed relatives for qualifying relative? You can easily tell this answer.
Option A, cousin.
Option A, cousin, right? Any questions in this? We have cousins and other list we have seen. Next one, taxpayer can claim non-relative as a qualifying relative only if the person, this is very, we have seen this. So can anyone answer this quickly?
Lives with the taxpayer entire
lives with
year.
it. Yeah,
Live-
entire year.
Yes, entire year, yes. So live with the taxpayer. So qualifying relative we can classify into two, out of which, so listed IRS approved list and other than IRS approved list. IRS approved list, then no need to reside with the taxpayer. Other than IRS listed list, then they need to reside with the taxpayer for all the year, all total, year. So the entire year, option A, correct? Option A. Now this question, So what is the answer, guys? Fifth one. A 19 years old unmarried child who is not a student provides 55% of their own support can be claimed as?
Cannot
Cannot
be
be
claimed.
claimed.
Not be claimed.
Yeah, so cannot be claimed as dependent. You are right. So I think you know everything, but you are testing me, right? Okay, so taxpayer want to claim 17 years old children for child tax credit. The children has 18. Yeah, so to claim child tax credit, that this dependent should have SSN, Social Security number, not 18. So this we will cover in the unit 1, but for now, remember to claim child tax credit, the person should have SSN, not 18. So TINs, we have three types of TIN. One is SSN and another one ITIN and another one adoption ATIN, adoption tax identification number. Yeah. So to claim the child tax credit, the person should have SSN, not ITIN. So here the children has ITIN. So can we claim CTC? Option? Can we
No.
claim? No. Option?
B.
B. But they can claim other dependent credit, which is ODC. Option B. The children lived with mother 7 months and father 5 months. Now tell me. No Form 833.
Mother.
Right.
Mother.
Mother.
Because based on
The children lived in more number of nights.
yes. You under tie break rule, when both persons lived with children equal time. Now
AGI.
AJ.
this is
AGI.
IRS favorite tested area. Like so I have seen so many areas, so many types of this type of question in the exam. So this is very important. AGI. Which dependent requires living more than half year with the taxpayer?
Qualifying children.
Qualifying children?
C.
Qualifying non-relative.
Both
Okay.
A
Qualifying relative,
and C.
non-relative.
Now think and let
C.
me know.
Both A and
C.
C.
Both A and C.
Both A
So
and C.
option
D.
D.
yes. And next one, which dependent may have any income still under. Oh yeah. Now tell me the correct answer.
Qualifying relative. Sorry. Qualifying children.
B.
Which
Qualifying
dependent
child.
may
Qualifying
have
children.
income amount. So did we discuss anything relating to qualifying children? So are we checking any qualifying gross income test for qualifying children?
No.
No.
No, we are not checking any income. So income test we will apply only in case of
Qualifying
Qualifying
relative.
relative.
so here girlfriend. So qualifying relative only, cousin qualifying relative only, qualifying relative obviously qualifying relative. So only qualifying children. Answer qualifying children cases we will not check any income criteria. Taxpayer claims head of household with her father. Her father lives in nursing home entire year. Taxpayer pays 70% of the support. So now can you answer this?
Yes.
Yes, because
We
it
can
should be
blame her church.
Answer
option A.
A.
next one. Who cannot claim as qualifying children?
Cousin.
Cousin.
Yes.
Cousin is 10.
Yes. Cousins are not eligible for qualifying children, but cousins are okay with qualifying relatives, but they need to reside with the taxpayer for all the year. For qualifying children, which test doesn't apply?
Gross income.
Gross
Gross
income.
income.
ADOB, they have given ADOB. What is ADOB means here? Residency. So they may, these kind of wordings may confuse you, but yeah. So gross income we will not check. ADOB means which is residency test. Relationship test, age test, gross income, and ADOB test. ADOB is residency test. Okay. And also another question for you quickly. I'm dropping the question here. What is the answer, guys, for this? A taxpayer provides 55% of support for her elderly grandmother who lived with her for 2 months. Grandmother has 4,500 gross income. Grandmother is?
Qualifying relative.
Qualifying relative.
E.
So we have to check more than 50%, right? So this is done. And for elderly grandmother, so elderly grandmother also fine. We can still under qualifying relative. And 2 months with her 2 months and grandmother, okay, gross income. So no matter, like even though the person, okay, so who lived with her 2 months, grandmother has 4,500 income. Income condition is meeting and residency.
No need to reside with
No
the
need to reside.
taxpayer all
Okay.
the year in case of other
Correct. So qualifying children.
relative.
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 For this
B.
answer,
Qualifying relative.
Yes, qualifying relative.
qualifying
Relative.
option
B.
B.
option B. Okay. Yes, perfect. And next one,
Jay, one question in previous question.
yes.
So girlfriend, right? So still considered as a spouse? No, not this question. The next one down.
Girlfriend. No, girlfriend is not spouse, right?
Then how it will be the relative test will qualify
Yes,
here?
we have seen, right? So any other person who is not in the residency list, so
Got it.
all the year. So no
Yeah,
matter
I
what
didn't see
he's
that all
been,
the year. Yeah.
yeah, no matter what he's relative or not, so but still dependent. All the year. All that is important. Yeah. Next question. Taxpayer nephew age 10 years, live with her all the year. She provides 40% of support. The test provide any nephew parents who can claim. Yeah, who can claim, guys, in this case? Who can claim?
The parents.
Parents or think and let me know again.
Parents.
Sure.
Can it be D because they didn't live with the parent and this wasn't a temporary absence?
They didn't specify, yeah, if he lived with his parent.
Can it be D?
Usually parents, right? So you told the correct answer. Parents only. So answer A, B, C, D. Answer parents, guys. Parents can claim. So because parents versus non-parents cases, we usually check for.
Parent.
Okay, so here you were thinking about all the year, right?
Yes.
Let me remove this. Yeah, now tell me the answer. So now the answer, parent. Next question. Children lived with the taxpayer for 182.5 days. Exactly how? Does children meet adopt test? Adopt test, which means
Yes.
Residency test.
Residency test.
yes or no? Exactly half.
No.
But
Yes.
under residency test, we studied like he should live more than half a year, right?
Yes. So it is exactly half year. So now,
So no.
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 No. Exactly. You are up to the mark. Next question for you is 23 years old children is full-time student for 5 months. You can see here for 5 months. They do give 5 months definitely. But if they are not giving, then make sure to remember these 5 months and lived with mother for 7 months and earned income 9,000, provided 30% of her own support. Mother can claim her? Yes. So now tell me the answer.
This is qualifying children.
Qualifying children are relative.
Qualifying children.
So if you are talking about qualifying children, just remember all the points. So qualifying children, so age test. So are we meeting age? Yes, fine. So do we need to check for income? No need to check for income. So support test. So yeah, support test cases. So taxpayer himself did not provide more than 50%. So here he's providing his 30% of own support, then fine. So mother can still claim as a dependent. So answer A. So qualifying children, right? And next one, fourth one. Sibling age 18 years, lived with the taxpayer all the year, earned $20,000 income, but used it for savings. Okay, 80% support. Yeah. So now tell me the answer, correct answer. Sibling. So sibling can we consider as qualifying children? Siblings
Yes.
are qualifying children,
Yes.
right? Yes, right. So age
Yes.
18. So all the year. So 18 years also qualifying children only. So under 18, under 19 means 18 or less. So 18 here, so no need to worry. And qualifying children only. Income, do we need to check for income in case of qualifying children? Income is not a criteria, right? So for
No.
income, okay, taxpayer provide 80% of the support. So support also not a criteria, but he himself should not provide more than 50% of the expenses. So that is the key in case of qualifying children. Now, can we consider qualifying children?
Yes.
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 So which children cannot be qualifying children? Answer?
Cousin.
Cousin. Yes. And children is
C.
permanently disabled meets age test.
Regardless of age.
Regardless of age.
Children lived with her mother 6 months, father 6 months, age a difference. So no 83-32. Now
Parents with higher age.
Parents with highest age.
parents with higher age. So tiebreak rule given first priority to AGI or parents or non-parents or support percentage or residency of children.
B.
So one non-parents.
Parents or non-parents.
We have seen, right? So parents versus non-parent first, then number of days, then
AGI.
Number of days.
That is the priority order.
Age is up.
And 19 years old. So now tell me this answer. 19 years old, not a student, lived with the taxpayer all the year, provide 30% of support. Can be claimed as qualifying children or relative?
Qualifying relative.
Do we need check for income?
No.
So if they're not specifically
None.
giving income, then fine. You can take under threshold limit only. So you can go with qualifying relative. Children born on exactly on 12/31 count as living. So can we consider the entire year?
Entire year.
Entire year.
Entire year.
Entire year, perfect. Which is not IRS listed approved relatives. We have seen this.
Cousin.
Cousin.
Cousin, sure. Yes.
Yes.
Taxpayer supports 70% of his father support. Taxpayer supports 70% of his
Yes.
father support. Father lives in
Yes.
home. Can we claim father? Yes. Okay. Girlfriend lives with the taxpayer 11 months. Support mate. Can we consider QR? Girlfriend live with the taxpayer for 11 months only. So can we consider as qualification?
No.
Because
Must reside with the taxpayer all the over the
All
year.
the year.
all the year. Gross income limit for QR must be less than
Threshold. 5050.
so this is actually a personal exemption we have. We can say which is IRS sets a limit which is personal exemption limit which is 5050. So 5050 limit is which is personal exemption limit, not a standard deduction, not a EATC, not a filing threshold, which is personal exemption limit. So if you see these kind of questions, so just eliminate everything. So standard deduction limit is 14,000. Single like 13,850 and EATC threshold. So that is also different. Filing threshold also different, right? So go with personal exemption. So if you are not sure, then eliminate everything and you will get the final answer. So in this case, answer B. Answer B, personal exemption amount which is higher set for QR limit. Again, you can see QR limit also they have given. So that is in that way you can identify. Next one, taxpayer pays 40% of support for his uncle, sister pays 40%, nephew pays 20%. Who can claim uncle?
Either a taxpayer or sister with multi-support agreement. 2120.
Either
Taxpayer or sister. Option D.
option D, because
Multi-support agreement.
MAC agreement we have, right? So either taxpayer or sister with multiple, they should have multiple support agreement. Then only they can do that, right? So option D, we have covered this. Next one, cousin lived with 12 months support testament, gross income limit below. So can claim?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
So qualifying relative test includes all except
Age.
Residency. Age.
sure.
Age test.
Yes. Age.
Age, no. So children, no age limit we have, but relative, no age limit. Dependent must live entire year with all the taxpayer when
Non-relative.
Non-relative.
non-relative. And person who is IRS list to approve must live with taxpayer. Yeah, this is also done. So
No
what is the answer?
residency requirement.
Yes.
No residency requirement.
QR qualifying relative can file MFJ only if
to
Option?
getting refund.
We have seen, right? So
B.
QR or QC, anyone can file MFJ only if filing joint return for refund of withholdings. So in that case only this is allowed. So option B. And non-custodial parent can claim children only if, so non-custodial parent can claim children as a dependent non-custodial parent.
B
Then they
option,
can,
Option B.
custodial parent.
Option B.
so they should
Fine.
have, they should have
B2.
8332
Form 8332.
8332 should be released from the taxpayer. So custodial parent. 8332 releases when releases. So yeah, so this we have seen. Anyone just try to recollect Form 8332 releases what exactly it releases. So if they having 8332, so what they can claim?
C.
Dependent plus option C.
Dependent, no. We have seen, right? So EATC, no. HO, head of household, no. Dependent
Child
and
care.
child tax credit only. Child care, sorry. Dependent. Dependent plus CTC. Dependent child care credit. No, this is no. No. This is no. And this is no. So this answer C. Dependent, I think it should be. Yeah, they can claim as dependent, right? So yeah, I'm sorry. So they can claim as dependent plus child tax credit also they can claim. So answer C. 8332 releases, so it releases dependent option and they can claim child tax credit. So that is the advantage with the 8332. Who can get EATC for a children?
Custodian parent.
Custodial parent.
Non-custodial parent can claim?
No.
No. Exactly.
Dependent only.
Who gets child and dependent care credit? Custodial or non-custodial?
Custodial.
Custodial parent.
Custodial parent.
Non-custodial also will get, right?
Yes, with 8332.
B
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
C
So
would be
answer
correct, no?
C.
Either parent.
Yeah. So answer B and C correct. That means either parent. Either parent answer. Does 8332 gives HOH to non-custodial parent? Will it give, guys? 8332 gives HOH
No.
to
No,
no.
No.
To claim CTC, dividend must have.
SSN.
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 This also we have seen. And 17 years old with SSN qualify for. So this is not required for now. So which is child tax credit. Qualifying children with 18 qualify for. This is also not required. So this we can see in the credits topic. Children for 86 when it's old SSN. Quickly move on to, we have 20 more questions. Okay, taxpayer pays more than 50% of cost of home. So mother live in nursing home. So can taxpayer file HOH? Answer yes,
Yes.
sir. Taxpayer pays more than 50% of cost of home. Mother lives in the nursing home. So can taxpayer file HOH?
Yes, because it would be temporary absence.
Okay. Kiddie tax applies to
Unearned income.
Unearned income of the
Unearned
child.
income.
kiddie tax applies to unearned income of
B.
Child under, yeah, B.
unearned income of
Under 18.
children under 18 or full-time student. Again here you must remember under 18 here. Okay. Who is subject to kiddie tax in this case?
B.
Option
B.
B.
B, sure.
Yes.
Kiddie tax will come only in under unearned income, right?
Unearned income, yes. B.
Unearned income. So option
B only.
B.
sure. B only. Correct.
Yeah.
But still I do ask. The person who must contribute at least multiple. So yeah, MSA to take the decision. So how much percentage?
10%.
A 10%.
10%.
10%. So 5% can they qualify for MSA? No, 5% we will eliminate, right? So MSA applies to, yeah, this we have seen. MSA applies to QC or QR or ATC or HOH.
Option B.
QC.
QC.
Qualifying children only we have
QC,
seen. Multiple
A.
support agreement. Why? Also we know because support test, the tricky part in support test, so children himself should not provide more than 50%. So that is the tricky part. Under multiple support agreement, who can claim?
B.
Option?
B.
Anyone giving more than 10% with agreement of other pastoral parents with highest ACI, person giving option, 13th option,
I think B.
say louder.
B.
Why?
B.
B.
Why
B.
B?
So he's
With
supporting more than
agreements of
10% and the others
others.
are agreed.
Yes. Yes. So dependent cannot file MFJ unless this also we have seen repeated one.
Only for refund of withholding.
Correct. If dependent files MFJ for refund, taxpayer may. This also we have seen.
Claim.
Option A.
A.
If dependent files MFJ for refund, taxpayer may always claim, never claim only if AGI dependent less than no, claim only QC. So this one, I'm not sure what exactly. Okay, let's see this later. Can anyone just take the snip of this and we'll discuss this later. Just take the snip and let me know. Yeah, next question. If you want, you can take. Next question. Child live with a taxpayer for 5 months and school hostel for 7 months. Residency test. Fails or passes? Temporary absence.
Passes.
Option B.
Passes.
Passes, right. Taxpayer supports adult children, earns $50,000 income. Support test meets. Child is, yeah. So can you answer this? Adult children who earns 50,000 but stipend is on travel. Support test meet children is qualifying.
No, he's not a dependent
Why?
because he is earning more than 5050 amount, right? So he can't be a qualifying relative.
We need to see the age limit, age also, right? So, but age
Yeah,
point,
obviously age. Yeah.
age they are saying adult children. That means he's not actually under the 18 years, under the
Right.
19. So that means he will comes under qualifying relative only. So qualifying relative is income 50-50, more than 50-50. So he is no more dependent. So not a dependent.
Not a dependent, yeah.
So this is done. And parents living in Mexico. So can be parents living in Mexico. So can be qualifying children or relative or either are not dependent.
Qualifying relative.
Sure.
Is
So can they reside in the Mexico?
Is Canada and Mexico.
Yes. So option. So parents means so they will come under qualifying relative only. So they can be resident of USA or they can be resident of Canada or Mexico also fine. Newborn dies shortly after birth. So qualifying children. So yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Foster children placed by agency lived 4 months. So can we qualify for QC? Foster children placed by agency lived 4 months only. So can we qualifying children?
Yes, if he meets other test.
No, I think 6 months.
Yes, it meets other test as well. Because before that, he was in the juvenile, right? So juvenile means, yeah. So that temporary absence also fine. So option, yes. Option A. Dependent with ITIN. So ITIN will qualify for ODC, other dependent credit. SSN qualify for CTC. SSN and ITIN. This we will see later. A non-relative who lives full year but taxpayer provides only 48% support. So can we consider qualifying relative? 48% support, guys. Quickly. What is the test?
50% support,
50% should support it.
Dependent or not a dependent?
not a
Not
dependent.
Not
dependent.
a dependent.
Brother living in hostel for 10 months counts as living with a taxpayer. Yes or no?
Only if full-time student.
Yeah, so full-time student. All the conditions are meeting. Yeah, option D, only if full-time student. Perfect. Laura supports 55% of grandmother support. Grandmother lived with Laura 1 month, nursing home 11 months. So income 2,900. Laura can, yeah. So answer,
Yes.
Yes, qualify relative.
qualifying relative. Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Option A.
Yeah.
And next one, Adam supports 20. He's 21 years. Can you quickly answer this? Did we discuss this?
Qualifying relative.
Qualifying relative, correct. Why? Can you explain why?
Yeah, because first of the income test, like 5050, it's less than that.
Okay.
And obviously he's a brother, he can't go for a QC, like 21-year-old brother.
Okay.
So yeah, and then obviously support test is more than 50%.
Okay, perfect. And also 7 months, 8 months only.
Yeah.
8 months. So this is IRS approved list or not in the list? Approved list only. Approved list, they no need to reset with all the year. So
Exactly.
yes. Jessica supports her boyfriend full year. Boyfriend earns 5900. Support test meet. Yes or no?
No.
No, right? Because
No,
Because
more than
earning
income is
more
more than
than.
the
which dependent gives the taxpayer right to file HOH? This is important.
Option B.
Cousin, can we option B, right? Yes, option B. Why? HOH cases we have seen relatives. Who are the relatives for HOH? Guys, we have discussed this point in HOH. Just revise the HOH. So HOH we have list of relatives. So cousin is not allowed. Parents, yes. So non-relative living full time. Non-relative we cannot claim HOH. The person should be relative only. Brother living full year but not a dependent. So brother should be dependent. Then only we can. So option B.
Option B.
Make sure to see the qualifying HOH relative list. So 20 years old, full time 14,000, provides 51% own support, lived with parents 9 months. So answer, what is the correct answer, guys?
Not a dependent. Option C.
Option
C.
20 years old, full time student earn 14,000 income, provides his own support. So here he, to consider qualifying children, he himself should not provide more than 50% of his own support. Anyone can provide, but he is providing his 50%. So he is not a qualifying children, and qualifying, he is not a qualifying relative as well. So he is no more a dependent, right? Option C. Multiple support agreements signed, who can claims? This we have seen.
Option B.
Option
B. Anyone providing more than
B.
10%.
B, correct. Dependent filed MFJ for 20 to claim refund. What is the answer?
Yes, he can claim.
yes.
After this, we have only one more question. So taxpayer provides 80% of support to uncle who earns 6,000 investment income. So can uncle QR qualifying relative?
Option B, no. Income is too high.
How many of you are saying option A or B? Option B, right? You told?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you are correct. Option B, because income more than 5050. Final question for today.
Option A.
A.
Option
A. Children lived in thanks for home 4 months, hospital 8 months, QC. Yeah, option A. So because temporary options also allowed, right? So yes, we can claim. So option A. So with this, we have completed the majority of the topics, what type of question we can expect in the exam. So we have